Hey, what's up? It's Kit. Time for another video. The next reel on the list that we're gonna talk about, kind of controversial, okay? Because the earlier models for this reel actually had a lot of issues. So much so that when I got this reel, the prices were dropped in the previous dealer. Okay, and this was some time ago because this reel has already been discontinued. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because if you have this reel in your arsenal and it's just sitting there, okay, you just have to get one part to make it function as an awesome, fast jigging reel. Now, the problem, of course, is if your copy is really good. The reel in question is none other than the Accurate Boss Fury. This model is the 500 Narrow, okay? And we'll go through the specs, and then after that, we'll talk about what I've done, all right? Now, first, full disclosure, there were issues with corrosion in the earlier models. Clicker failure, okay? Stiff handle, rough retrieval, because of the dirt buildup and all this. Drag system issues, and it had free spool issues, okay? And that's about it. That is about it, okay? Now, obviously, as you can see here, I have changed the handle, and pretty much that is the only change I have done for this because my copy is actually pretty good. Okay, and I've had it for years. I've opened it once. That's about it. So, okay, now let's get into the specs of this, okay? And why I believe it's actually pretty good. Okay, now capacity quite decent. Holds, according to the spec sheet, it holds 300 yards of 50-pound test. Now, I was able to spool about 350 meters of PE4 on this. Okay. Max drag of 24 pounds. It is 17 ounces. Okay, so 17 ounces in grams is 481, which makes it quite light. Okay, I mean, if you compare it to the OSHA Jigger 2000, which is in the same category, it's actually lighter. Okay, I have the one I showed in the OSHA Jigger video that I made is actually a 2000. So again, this is 480, let's say 482 grams, and the OSHA Jigger was almost 600 at 595, and this has 24 pounds of drag. Okay, line retrieval per crank, it is 30 inches. That is 4-to-1. Now, compared to the OSHA Jigger PG, this is a slower reel, which was something that I really like. Now, when this was sold, okay, the price over at Tackle Direct was $599.99 while it was actively being sold. Now, you could probably get this reel on eBay for cheap, and if you get lucky, there's probably still some brand new copies. Okay, now the clicker on this, not the loudest. Okay, it's not the smoothest operation reel. Okay, now if you actually compare the lever drag of this to an older Accurate, okay, which is this one right here, this is the 665. Okay, the operation on this, it's like smoother. Okay, something I have to say also, this is a much older reel than this one. Granted that this one, of course, is higher spec, but you can see the anodization of this is actually still intact, while this one's actually a new part. Wael gave it to me, and look, it's fading, so that's kind of unfortunate. But anyway, Overall, as far as the engineering of this reel is concerned, it's actually something that you would expect from Accurate, kind of on the rough side, but there's no complaints. It's a US made reel. It's built tough, and it's been with me for like, this is older than my daughter, so at least 16 years. You know, now for the longest time, it had the stock handle, which I have replaced. Now the problem with Accurate is that, especially when you're jigging, okay, couldn't really find a handle for it. Okay, and when I finally found a handle, I had to have a machine in here. Okay, there's a part inside here that I needed to have machined so that it fits. Now it's the same as this one right here. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this reel down the line. But what happened here is that the hole that came with the part that's inside is actually, it doesn't fit. Okay, and I had to have it machined so that it would fit. Now, if you're able to do that, okay, you have a very, very good reel for fast jigging. Very comfortable. Okay. As far as the size is concerned, I want to reiterate, I have small hands. Okay, and sometimes when you're jigging, it becomes really difficult because guess what? When you put this on a reel, your grip changes. Okay, so when you're buying a reel and you're testing things out, put it on a rod. Okay, that's kind of similar to what you're going to be using, and then when you grip it, you'll see if it's comfortable or not. This, okay, despite not having a an offset frame, which makes kind of like the smaller left hand side for me here, okay, it's still very comfortable because it's kind of the right size. So basically, this size, this side and this side, same size. Some actually put like a bigger right or crank side frame. Okay, one piece frame, two if you count this. All right. Now instead of stainless, they have a aluminum foot. Okay. Now, granted that this rides higher than an Osha Jigger or a Studio Ocean Mark. Again, when I hold it in my hand right here, okay, as you could see, it's very comfortable. This is very important because when you're jigging, you don't want to have like a tight grip here. When I jig, I actually just support the rod and reel with a very light grip, because the more you grip hard, the more you're going to get tired, and that is very important, especially when you're fast jigging. Now, the reason why I went with this reel, and mind you, when I went shopping for this reel, I really had I had really had like a determined what do you call this? I was really determined to find a reel that was as slow as possible. And of all the reels that I chose from, including the Jigging Master Power Spell, okay, because I had the budget, I found this to be the slowest. And when you're fast jigging, a slower reel actually helps you a lot, especially when, well, when you have a fish on. Okay, a lower gear would actually winch it up. Now, the biggest issue I had with this reel wasn't the drag, the clicker, or whatnot. Now, you know, when you're jigging, you don't really need the clicker anyway. So even if the clicker on this is not so good, I really don't care because I don't use it. Okay. Now, the biggest problem was the drag. Now, as far as the dirt going in and you know, and all that, never really had a problem with that. And like I said, this copy is actually really good. So I got lucky. Now, the drag. Okay. So what I've done when I first got the reel and I heard that there was a drag issue, I opened it, cleaned it all up, and then I sanded the drag washer, sanded it with 1000 grit sandpaper. Okay, and it's a little bit, it's a little trick that an uncle of mine taught me when I was younger. So you sand it flat as much as you can. So I had like sandpaper, put it on glass so that I know that the surface is super flat. Wet the sandpaper and then just sanded the carbon washer on this. Okay, both sides. Put it back, and then put a little bit of grease. And guess what? It's been working really well for me since. As far as the preset is concerned, it's not the best, I would say. And mind you, let me also point out that as far as accurate reels were concerned, this is actually not really the top end. Okay, so it's kind of weird for me to actually have people complain and say that, oh, it's not a bad reel, but you already know that it wasn't the top end, so it's not their best work. But like I said, the gear was what attracted me, the low speed, and all I needed to find then was the handle. Now, that as far as the handle is concerned, I had to look for someone who had a laser cutter, and then they actually cut the part that's inside here. It's kind of like the part that goes into the shaft. Okay, so I had to have that cut, laser cut, so that it's super exact. Okay, and then after that, that was it. I got this handle off of eBay, and it wasn't expensive. I got like 5 of them or something like that at the same time. Okay, the biggest issue for me was actually the insert. So once I got that done, as you can see here, I even have it on the old one and an older model, and it works really well. Now I have videos of me using this catching some decent longtail tuna, and it's one of those things, and it's a snapper. I think I caught like a big snapper, if I remember correctly. I caught a nice big snapper on this one. Man, I mean, it's I think the speed, especially when it comes to the jigging part, I dare say that this has performed way better for me than an OSHA jigger. I have caught more fish on this than the OSHA jigger, put it that way, and I like using it, and this is the whole reason why I still have it, even if I have a Studio Ocean Mark to use now. I actually like this a lot. Okay, so might be surprising for you guys, because you've been watching the channel, and I'm pretty sure that you would otherwise think that I love JDM stuff, and yeah, but I believe they actually knocked the ball out of the park with this reel, and I really wish that they actually just made it better. And then obviously, especially now that they're offering like bigger, longer handles and stuff, this reel would be really good. Now the good news is the frame, I believe they're still using for a I think the reel is called an Ascender. Okay, and it's priced at like half of this, which is $299.99 as I saw on the website. The problem is the gear. They don't have a 4-to-1 anymore, which is kind of unfortunate. Now, if you know a machine shop that you could work with, you can actually work something out with them, and you can have a pinion as well as a main gear made for your reel, and that would give it a lower speed. But yeah, that's it. Now for me, if you can find if I was to, let's say, uh look around eBay for this reel, if I could find a brand new one, especially if it's not one of the first production runs of this. Now, if you happen to find one at the very tail end of the production run, that means it's already been fixed. The issues, clicker inconsequential. Problem is really the drag, okay, and what do you call this? The intrusion issues with the dirt and all that. Now, if you uh, get a later copy of this one, or if you already have it in your inventory, then I implore you to actually use it. All you have to do is just change the handle. Again, there are a lot of options for handles. You can go with Gomexas. I'm pretty sure that they have one that would fit an accurate, or you can have like me, okay, this thing here inside, there's like an interchangeable plate. You can get something like this, okay. I think that's the brand right there, Next, okay. So you can find this or some other handle brand. That I got this off of eBay, okay. So you can get that, and you can have the plate inside machine, okay. Again, for me, I found a guy who had a laser cutter and he did it for me, so I have spares of that plate, as I because down the line, maybe, right, who knows. But man, when I'm using this, okay, and I'm jigging, even with high resistance jigs, you can make it move so well, because when you're reeling it in, it's so soft, okay. It's a little bit of a heavy reel, yes, okay, compared to maybe what do you call this, uh, well, actually it's light, isn't it? It's like 480 something, and I could say that it's actually kind of lighter than this one is what, 505, whereas this is actually, like, you can feel it, it's lighter. So I could say that it's actually pretty good. Pretty sure that they have newer versions, but again, my search for a slow reel led me to this, and even beating out something like JM Power Spell. Yeah, so if you already have it, again, if you already have it in your inventory, look for a handle, use it, it's great. Okay, aside from that, as you know, there are some known issues for like earlier models, but overall I'm very happy with mine, right? And it's still here, it still works. I've not had an issue with the drag or the intrusion issues, and as far as the clicker is concerned, I use it for jigging. I don't need a clicker. That's it. Alrighty. So hopefully this video helps someone out, especially if or if you're a dad. Here's a very good idea. If you're a dad and you have a kid that wants to get into jigging, you already have one of these. Obviously, the narrow version, perfect for fast jigging. Alrighty, that's it for this video. Before we go, I'd like to thank the members, subscribers, and if you want to learn more, subscribe if you haven't yet. Alrighty, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Class dismissed.